You're already not in the camera shot.
If I'm chilling right here.
It's even.
Is that okay?
It's 16,
Everybody speak up real quick.
Hey! Hello.
Yo.
Everybody looking for the fire.
What's going on?
Yo, mama.
You're so beautiful to me.
You're so gorgeous, baby.
That's what Dean was talking to girls. He was like,
He does.
So he was like, you're so beautiful.
I can't talk like that because I'm a handsome man. Oh, so is D-Mar, bro.
You want to talk to he would be different with him, bro.
You'd be different with them.
He was like, beautiful, little man.
Alright, guys. We're back once again. Shit. Damn. Let me turn on the mics. Alright, so now we back once again. Eli's Viewpoint. I don't even know what episode we're in. I just know we're just vibing at the moment and shit. I think this is like take two.
Take two.
Yeah, we started, we tried to film it and then the camera died, so. But today, we got Josh Barnes.
That's right.
Got Brice, CEO of Hoodie Gang.
Yep.
So, what we're gonna do is, I know Josh he's in the trading game. He's an ex-master trader.
Yep. The master
trader.
Yeah, master trader. One of the more realer traders that I've seen. I know a lot of scammers in the trading business.
Yeah.
So it's like
There's a lot of scammers out there.
on the hedge fund too.
Yeah.
So, introduce yourself and then we get the Brice too.
Yeah, Josh Lee. And yeah, so I day trade. Been trading for nearly 6 years now. Really full time for the past like 2-3 years. And I trade currency market, forex market, and yeah, I just started a hedge fund. I got over $3 million in capital I'm managing right now. Really, this year I'm growing it pretty big. It's my goal. Hiring first couple employees. Kind of end of February. That's what we're looking at. And so yeah, just gaining more capital right now, and kind of building the ground floor to kind of really get big. So yeah, looking at coming out with like a training program here next couple of months. So that's really exciting. Really excited to get that launched and worked on and out for you guys. So yeah.
Okay, and then we have Brice, CEO of Hoodie Gang.
What's up, guys? Brice, CEO of Hoodie Gang. Obviously, on the brand, corporation versus umbrella of things. As you can see, we've been going crazy with the merch. But I think now, got a lot of, TV stuff coming out. A lot of, like content things, stuff I can and can't talk about. Obviously, last time I was here, I spoke about the kickback app that we had come out. So right now we're like kind of like where Josh is at with some of his stuff. We're kind of like in the hiring process, investing process of that. But you'll definitely see a lot of really big events on there with a lot of really big people on there. Also on top of that, soon we'll be seeing a lot of crazy content. So a lot of crazy, cool, spectacular content you guys have really been waiting on. And most importantly, when it comes to entertainment, you guys are going to see some music come out. A lot of big production from me and a lot of big artists. When I mean big, I mean big. So a lot of that stuff, it'll come out, but you'll definitely be seeing it everywhere. You'll be hearing it everywhere. So definitely stay tuned. Obviously, I'm proud to announce that I got a little partnership with Josh going on, so you'll be seeing a lot of great content from him. And I think he's going to be the trader this year that I say is on like that Grant Cardone wave, where it's just in your face. Everywhere you see him, he's there. You see his content everywhere. You're going to see that Tri-Capital logo everywhere, and you're going to see everybody repping it. So definitely look forward to the content that me and Josh have coming out as well. I don't think there's going to be a trader on this level with this type of creativity, especially right now in this lifetime. So just stay tuned and stay forward to it. Obviously, we got Mr. Eli right here. There's a scent, I want to, come out with Eli, but just know that when you wear it, you'll get whatever you want, almost like a gremlin.
Fact. Yeah, we got the oils on deck. I didn't bring the oils today because it's pouring down raining outside right now. So, but
And Eli took a bath outside.
but the hoodie gang,
Or a
Coochie
bath.
Gremlin sit is on the way.
Coochie Gremlin.
And of course, y'all, I got more content on the way. Crazy content that I haven't even dropped yet. That's coming to the YouTube channel, the podcast platforms, and shit. What else do I got on the way? Possibly moving to Miami.
He's
really
moving to
soon.
Miami. He's not possibly.
Really soon.
He's moving.
And shit, you know, I'm just living a crazy life, my crazy life. We got more comedy content on the way. Like showcasing like my funniest moments in life. But today's episode is more so definitely gonna get into, you know, how you got into trading, your whole life story.
Yeah.
And we're gonna definitely revisit Brice's story because I really feel like in that first episode there's a lot. I know like at the time we were really first meeting each other, but like I feel like it's a lot of context missing out of like, you know, your actual story. So, you know, I want to capture that again.
Yeah, that's a funny story.
But let's start with Josh. Josh, how did you get into trading? You can go back, you know, as far as, you know, your whole life story.
Yeah.
And also just getting into creating a hedge fund as well, too.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, so I got started kind of right out of like high school doing business stuff. I started like a car wash business. I started like a mobile snow cone business. As I was like going to college and working like pretty much full time. So I was hustling. I was working a lot. But I was always interested in trading. During that time, I was like buying and selling stocks, like kind of simple investing and stuff like that. So I've always been interested in it. I've always been interested in like Wall Street and working for like a hedge fund or, you know, analyzing charts and doing things like that. So, yeah, I've always been interested. I did some other business stuff after that. I moved to New York, helped open a restaurant there, and then purchased a dry cleaning business when I moved back here. And when I moved back here, I was like, I really want to take trading like seriously. So like I really want to get into it more. And yeah, I sold the business a year after, and really went full time into trading after that. But during that, while I owned the dry cleaning business, I just was researching a ton, like trying to connect with the right people,
Right.
Through Instagram and, you know, just different channels like that. And yeah, I really found out there's like not a whole lot of like successful traders out there. Definitely not in Pensacola.
Not to cut you off, but
Yeah.
I actually, during the time where I initially got introduced to trading during COVID, I heard that it was a stat that a lot of people threw out that 90% of traders don't make money.
Yeah.
Facts.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a hard game. I mean, think about it. Like, you know, there's tons of people out there trying to trade,
Right.
and it's hard work. I mean, it's hard work to actually be successful and be consistently successful.
Right.
Like anyone can like be successful for like a month and then, you know, make a good amount of money in a month. But it's like doing that every single month consistently is the hard part. And if you think about it, the guys that are making the most money, you know, it's the hedge funds, the banks, you know, they know the secrets, they know how to do it, and
they
getting
have
paid
capital.
millions, you know, and yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So it's a tough game. It's a very tough game. So to be able to do it successfully is a big accomplishment, a big thing to be able to do. So it's cool. But yeah, I would say about 90%. Yeah, like it's up there with like, you know, people that are.
That's a crazy stat. Yo.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah.
90%.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. So, were you saying? So you were trading before, like, you know, the whole join forex. You know, during COVID, like, you know, a lot of people lost their jobs.
Yeah.
So like, I know, like,
It was
that's
a big
why I
move to
got
get
introduced.
into it. Yeah.
Yeah, I got introduced to the forex trading shit during COVID.
During COVID, yeah.
You know, hella people were
Yeah.
trying to sell me
Yeah.
to learn forex and I
Mhm.
guess recruit people.
Yeah.
But
But
you
yeah,
were doing
there's
this before.
Oh yeah, way before, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. What are your thoughts on that though?
Yeah, it's funny. I actually haven't even thought about that company. There's a few companies out there that actually. Now that I think about it, I haven't thought about them. What's the name of the company?
IML?
IML, yeah, that's it. That's it. Yeah. So you joined IML for?
No, I didn't do shit.
Okay,
Yeah.
but you just found out, yeah.
But see,
I forgot about them, man. That's crazy.
Me too, bro. I kept getting repeated.
Yeah.
I know
Yeah,
what
it's a multi-level marketing business. That's all it is.
Oh.
That's all it is. It's multi-level marketing, and it's basically, let me hire you. Let me recruit you, and you go recruit people.
So pyramid.
Yeah, it's a pyramid scheme. Yeah,
Okay.
and they have like somewhat of a training program, kind of like basic videos, I think. But basically, the idea is that they have like one big leader guy that like is supposedly the master. He's like
That's the trainer.
Yeah, that's right. It's like he's supposed to be the king.
Master Splinter.
Yeah, he's supposed to be the king, and and he sends out signals to and trades to everyone in the group, and so I joined because there was a guy I connected with who actually got hired on with IML. He actually got recruited from the company to actually send out trades because he was actually a successful trader, or at least everyone thought. But I actually got joined because I connected with him, whatever, and ended up it wasn't good trades. It wasn't successful. So I mean that company's just filled of just like traders that aren't good. They don't know what they're doing. So yeah, it's crazy.
Now I remember you saying we had this conversation off camera, but you were saying that it's better for most people to learn their own strategy
Yeah.
instead of
Yeah.
copying, kind of like what they were doing. Is you
Yeah.
basically just copying somebody who not necessarily even knows what they're doing yet.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. So a lot of the strategies out there, like 99% of the strategies out there that people are teaching, they're all using the wrong information. They're all using just indicators that are, not reliable in a sense that you can't build a consistent strategy off of the indicators they're using. I'll probably get into it a little bit about what I do, strategy I use, but the indicators they're using are lagging indicators. And what they do is they take previous data and basically tell you what it did in the past. And there's no way to build a strategy off of that. You can get direction maybe, but maybe you can build a long-term strategy around that. But if you're looking to actually day trade and be successful, trading short term, you can't really build a strategy off of kind of what people are putting out there. But what I do, I look at order flow and volume in a different way than most people do. So the indicators I'm using is basically you're watching when orders are actually coming into the market, when people are actually placing trades, at what price and things like that. And so I do that because you can actually get in tune with when people are placing trades and things like that. So you can really get in tune and know what's going on in the market and know how to execute correctly and capitalize on what people are doing. So
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So what would be the best advice? So say I just graduated high school. Don't know what I really want to do.
Mhm.
I have an interest in trading. Don't know if I really want to go the college route. Don't really have active income. How would I get my foot in the door to start my trading journey?
Yeah, that's a good question. Yeah, definitely. You want to have a consistent income coming in, and you want to build up savings before you actually take trading where you trade full time.
Right.
And take it very seriously. So one reason for that is when you go into trading, you can't have any fear of losing money or fear of not having money or things like that, because you'll lose immediately once you start trading. If you're starting off with that, so you got to have a good base before you start trading. So I would focus on that, get a consistent income and a good amount of savings before you start. In the meantime, while you're doing that, you can trade demo, on a demo account and get experience.
Okay.
So you can get, trade with fake money on the live market and, try different strategies out, try to build something of your own or kind of learn what I'm doing. So yeah, that's what I would suggest.
Gotcha. I think that's very useful. Because there's a lot of gurus on social media. They don't necessarily teach you, okay, you should quit your job and start a business, but, they don't tell you, okay, yeah, you should have some money put up. Or you should still have income coming in before you just go 100% into this venture, whatever it is.
Yeah.
So I think that's very, very useful to let people know that, especially with the traders.
Yeah.
Because I remember in 2020, when the Forex shit was big, I remember people, they were telling me, bro, quit your job, you're going to make 6 figures trading. I'm like, bro, y'all don't even know what the fuck y'all doing.
No, even once you have a successful big month, I still wouldn't even quit your job. I had a job for nearly a year when I was still making, serious money. I was making more money a month than I was making in a year at the job. So I stayed in the job just so I could build up that, habit of making money in the market.
And you had stability, basically.
Right, stability.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So a lot of people have a good week or a good month and then oh man, this is it. I'm gonna quit my job and I know what I'm doing. And then immediately when they quit their job, it's they lose everything. It's just because they haven't trained themselves to they haven't found out what made them successful most of the time, what made them actually make money in the market. Because a lot of it is So you got to build up that habit of making money in the market and figure out what's making yourself successful. And what you'll find out, which no one tells you this, is it is all in the mind. And it's 10-20% strategy and 80-90% all in the mind.
Mindset. I remember during a private conversation we all were having. I know you guys are, with Brice, you're successful clothing brand, hoodie gang, the production company, getting into film and stuff, and I know you with your head fund and trading. I know you. I hear number one thing that I hear you guys always talk about is mindset, and talk about both of you guys. Touch on how do I develop the mindset that you guys have? Even I remember you saying there was times you were down bad, broke as fuck.
Bro!
I remember
broke
you
as fuck.
saying you were negative a couple $100,000.
Yeah.
So what was the mindset during that time? How did you guys get out of that hole? And how does one say somebody they're kind of in that hole right now, or they don't necessarily know what to expect being in the business of whatever being successful.
Yeah.
What's the mindset that they need to develop, and how do they get there? And also, what did you guys do to develop that mindset and maintain that shit?
Yeah.
So that was a lot, but
So, dude, honestly, at first it was I noticed, really manifestation, and it's really real, because everything's energy and your thoughts do create reality.
right,
Even when it comes down to the money that you have right now is because that's what you think you deserve, that's what you think you're worth.
right,
But how I learned that is really just going on YouTube, I'm super smart, I look, what's going on, why am I, I'm trying hard, am I broke? And I realized, I can't fix the same problem coming from the same state of mind. So if you're in the same state of mind, then I'm always going to have that same problem. I'm in that same frequency, same vibration. And so, and it sounds like, pseudoscience or whatever, but not really once you really, really get into it. So I started looking at people who are really, really successful, and they always talk about manifestation. But you'll always hear they visualized and things like that. Once I started doing that, I noticed whenever I do think about something or I think something's going to happen this way, it would really happen, which is very, very weird. So okay, and once I started trying it, I'm like, anytime I like try really, 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 really hard for something, it just never works. But anytime you do something effortlessly, it always works.
Right.
So I always wonder like, okay, when it comes to money, whenever I really, really really want money, or like whether like you really, really want a girl, it's like it'll repel away from you. And even when it comes to like your mindset, because like I was talking to somebody like you're gonna have to pay bills till you die. It's just how people's mindset is. Somebody else, will see a service and they'll be like, oh my God, I have to pay so and so. Instead of being like, I'm so thankful that I have the money to pay for this.
Right.
Because it's crazy how, as humans, like we're always really, 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 really selfish. But we forget that everything we have right now, we would die to have it 2 years ago. Like the money we have, everything we're wearing, probably like how we look at everything. 2 or 3 years ago, we probably like, man, 5 years ago, we probably like, man, I can't wait till I have a hedge fund until I have the money we have right now.
Right.
So it's like once you're and your mind is really a magnet. Like when you focus on abundance, it brings more abundance. When you focus on negativity, your mind's gonna bring you more things to be negative about. So even if you listen to Jay-Z, he's like, I never took an L, I always just learned a lesson.
Right.
So it really was a change in the mindset. And then to sum it up, life doesn't happen to you, you create your own life. And then once you realize that money is really your bitch, because you create money.
Right.
If you spend more money, like money is just an idea. I can spend like $20,000 right now. I'm like, okay, wait, I had that $20,000 because I created an idea that brought me that. So
Right.
once you kind of realize that, you realize that like you create it. Anything you want, you really create. So life is not happening to you, you create your life. So like, but it's easier than it sounds because you're always gonna like the more you get on social media, the more you do things. It's like the world always tries to tell you that you're a victim.
Right.
That you're a victim. Like you can't make $1 million because it's too hard when that's not even true. Because you'll always see somebody online or see somebody in life who's quote unquote not as smart as you or doesn't have XYZ, but they have more. And a lot of times it's because they don't think about it. Like whenever you just do it, all right, how much does this cost? All right, boom, I'll just pay it. How much does this? Boom, I'll just pay it. Like whenever you really have that mindset and you really don't think, you should get a lot of results. It's like you've dealt with high-end clients, like people who have a lot of money, who have a lot of abundance. Whenever you tell them like, hey, this costs this much, or it's $1 million house, or however much, you probably notice that like your high-end clients are like, all right.
Facts.
But like whenever you have a lower-end client, they're like, well, even like with me in production, bro, I've done productions, like $30K and more upwards. I'm like, all right, it's gonna cost you $30K a month, it's gonna cost you XYZ. They're like, all right, because a lot of times that they've been around people, they know, okay, if I'm gonna spend this, I'm gonna make $3 million a month off of this kid. I don't care.
Facts.
But like a lot of people, I'd be like, all right, it costs this. They'll be like, well, you've done with your loan house. Well, where am I getting the value out of it? And it's like,
Facts.
and they sit there and like they'll ask you a million questions and when they're not gonna buy the service or buy the product. Well, I don't know if I should go on this trip to Miami because, well, but you living in buttfuck nowhere, Alabama, and you trying to ask me what the value finna get from like you'll really notice that. So it's like and a lot of times it's kind of realizes putting a value in other places. Like people believe in all these celebrities, you believe in all these things, but you don't believe in yourself.
Right.
So a lot of times we put bullshit on a pedestal, I like Rolex, but you'll go spend, not talking about you, somebody go spend 50, 70, 100K on a piece of metal, and you believe in the value, but you won't put that in yourself. I'm not saying you won't, but I'm giving an example.
Yeah.
But they won't put that in themselves, they won't put that in a service, they won't put that in a course or a product. I bet you people will come to jobs all day, man, how do I make X amount of money, how I do da-da-da-da, how'd you meet Brice, how'd you get around Orlando, da-da-da, you go like, hey man, I took some money, boom. I did this. I paid this marketing expense, but I was able to get this. Now I know so and so. I don't know, man. Maybe you probably hear that all the time. Yo, Josh, how are you doing? And it's really plain and simple.
Yeah, they'll go spend money on alcohol on the weekends. They'll spend money on clothes, shoes, like whatever. But when it comes to reading the right book, buying the right books, buying the right material, connecting yourself, spending money to get connected with the right people, they don't spend that money on themselves like they should. And
it shows. So and it's just really getting out of that mindset. Because people don't realize that as humans, we put the value on things. So once you really start pedalizing stuff, like one thing you have to do is stop pedestalizing money. It's just money. It's not even real. Like once you realize that money is just a digital number, it's kind of weird to think about it. Money is just a digital number.
It's crazy.
It's really not even real.
Well, the banks banks
Banks
actually
don't
don't
even
even have the money.
Yeah.
Like banks don't even have the money.
So
Don't they loan like 10%? Don't they like
they use your money to make more money.
They only keep 10%, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're using your money to fund their own shit.
Right.
So it's just like as it's realized like stop pedestalizing stuff and realize it's believing yourself. Like it's having that belief in yourself. And me and Josh
America is built on credit.
Yeah, me and Josh talk about this, like affirmations, like, you know, writing stuff down, like visualizing, and just realizing that like nobody's better than you, like you're that person and that you can do it. Even, you know, getting around the right friends, you know, like a lot of beautiful things will come from this. Like I'm thankful that I met, you know, Mike the Creamer, you know, Eli and Josh. But it's kind of crazy how we're all building something, but it's almost always having a group that can like reinforce that belief and being around the right energy, because me and Josh talked about it's so easy, you know, me and Mike talked about this, it's so easy to come back from a place like Miami, like let's just say you guys don't live really big and you like lose that energy, lose that momentum.
Yeah.
It's the hardest part, keeping it alive.
Yeah, keeping it alive, and y'all are going to hear from Mike the Creamer soon, but it's just realizing that like you can do it. You know, we went to Miami, you know, we met with, you know, Artlanta, Spencer, you know, TJ, shout out to those guys. And I was talking, you know, everybody else was kind of funny how like them being young multimillionaires, making tens of millions to hundreds of millions, you know, being with celebrities, doing these powerful things, that's normal. In Miami, that's normal.
Mm-hmm.
Like here, it's just like, it doesn't really happen a lot.
Never seen
In Miami,
it.
you're seeing 22-year-olds in Lamborghinis, Rolls Royces, and that's normal.
Yeah.
So like realizing your environment is powerful. Like what you watch, the things you say. Like a lot of times when you tell yourself like, oh, I'm smart, I'm not smart, or I'm not this and that, your mind is gonna always prove itself right. So realize this, just realize that you create your own life. Once you realize that the power comes from within, you're not a victim. So you know that's really it. And so I'm gonna let you know Josh, the master trader, talk some more about it.
Yeah, I think the last thing you said was like super important, that like you create your own life, and like it starts with you, and you got to make your own decisions. And I think it really does start with like figuring out what you want in life, like what do you want, and building that desire. Because like some people want things, but then they don't really want to put in the work, they don't really want it. But you gotta like figure out what you want and build up that desire. Like I want this, I'm gonna do whatever it takes to get, you know, to get where I want to be. And then it gets into, you know, like not really desiring certain things, but figuring out and being the person that attracts those things, becoming that person that has those things. And so that's like an important piece too. I feel like, I think, right? You're yeah.
Most definitely.
It's like you become a person that attracts those things. You don't become, you don't just like desire it. You don't want those things. You know, it's not about wanting. It's about being the person that gets those things.
Right.
So it's a different mindset. You gotta like, and it's all just changing your thinking processes, making what you think about, and it's a battle. It's a battle of like changing that, but it's very beneficial.
Would y'all say, is it more so of a I'm not gonna lose mindset? It's like,
I would say it's getting out of the scarcity and survival mindset and realizing you're creative.
Yeah.
gotcha.
You gotta realize
Create things.
you create the money.
Right.
Like you literally like right now, like people tell y'all stuff. Oh yeah, it takes X amount of money to make money. Or it really doesn't. Like you really create money. You create anything you want. So
If you say, if you say I'm not going to lose, you're thinking about the loss already.
Yeah.
And so you got to change that thinking process there. You got to say, I am successful. You know, the I am is like such a powerful like sentence. I am whatever you want to be. Don't think about the negative, like I don't have money, or I'm you got to be I am successful. I make money. That kind of thing.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Moving forward. Okay, Brice. Let's go rewind all the way back. So, fast forward to when you was down bad, fucked up.
shit, I was broke. I left, dropped out of college, threw a party, and I realized like I was really good at like bringing people together. But the business didn't take off exactly how as fast as I thought it would. I realized it took time in building. But I went to like a really big private university, and I was like one of like the smartest people there. And I kind of realized, like, you can be extremely intelligent, but like actively being in the business is so different than like reading a book or doing X Y Z. I noticed like I always had a skill of like creating a brand, bringing people together and execute. Like I can create things at a really large scale, really fast. Like if anyone who knows me knows that I can bring X amount of people together. And if somebody said, Brice, I need $500,000 business deal right now, I can create it like in days. I'm like, we're gonna go here, and I'm gonna bring this deal to you. Just let me get a cut, like anything like that. So that was kind of like my first-hand experience and manifestation. I was like, man, I can create anything. Like and I realized that when I turned off my analytical mind, this was more of like my spiritual, and then I was really good. Like my clothing, like I create like really high quality clothing. Like sometimes, like I'll just like go somewhere in a dark room and I'll just like forget about everything and I'll create really good designs. And like there are people who are like celebrities and cool celebrities who are like buy my clothes and like they're like, dude, like you're awesome, it's gonna blow up. So back to when I was down bad, I dropped out of school, boom, and I was selling shoes, working like journeys in the mall for like $10 an hour. We're like 17, 18, 19 maybe. I was kind of going through that phase, and I would me and Schmidt would get together. Shout out to the vice president of Hoodie Gang. We'd get together and we'd throw events. Sometimes I wouldn't have enough money. He'd help me out. We put together an event. Boom, spend a few $100s. Boom, make a few thousand back. Sometimes the events would be bad. Sometimes I'd lose money. So I kind of got in the habit of like taking a lot of losses, but really learning lessons. Like I learned a lot of things. Boom, people maybe not have as good intentions as me. A lot of people just try to be around me just to benefit. Boom, I learned the things of like being smart with your money, not fucking it off, the importance of credit, the importance of who you know, the importance of mindset. I learned how the money you desire makes you poor, but the money has sets you free. Like you could have $2,000 right now, and you could turn it into $10,000 easily. But the only reason you can't is because, like Josh said, you're thinking about your lack of $2,000. I realized that the average American has $1,000 in the bank account. I also realized that just like having a team who's around you is very, very important. I'm pretty sure Josh will say this as well, the importance of a great staff. It's really, really hard to find a good, reliable staff. So when you do find a lot of business owners, they want to be selfish with the money, but like a lot of times when you do get to that point, definitely pay like a good staff well and treat them really good, because it's really hard to find business partners and a staff that's on the same mindset as you that can like get to the same place. So especially you can be comfortable around and trust. Because the more money you make and the more connections you make and the higher up you go, it starts to be less about money. Really becomes like mindset and trust. If I bring you in the room with X Y Z through me, can I trust you? So just things like that. But really just the intangibles of business, the stuff that money can't buy, is really just like skills. So I learned that through like being down bad. But I mean, those skills will help me a lot. And then just realizing like a lot of times, like with Hoodie Gang, my brand, like we've had people come and go, videographers, come and go, photographers come and go. So accountants come and go. Like I've even learned how to be like, okay, this person wants this for themselves. Well, fuck yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and learn every skill myself. Like in my business, I pretty much try to do every skill. Like the other day, I was talking with Josh and Eli, and I was like, man, I'm good, but I'm not that good behind the camera. And then I kind of went home and just like messed around with the camera. Like, boom, let me get my angles right. Like, what if Josh needs me somewhere and he's paying for a service? There's not going to be any excuse. If my job is to get this, camera, this angle's done to do whatever, I have to get it done. So almost like learning every skill within the business and then kind of building a team from there. And then realizing that mindsets are better than everything. Like, you can be really good at what you do, but if the mindsets don't really click, it won't really work out. It's better to have a person who's okay at their job that they can build on than a person who can be good at their job but they're bad to work with and have a bad mindset. I learned like a lot of the stuff that money can't really buy like early.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I feel like you learn those skills like whenever you're down.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's
When you were
it's
down,
like it sucks going through it, but
it's character
you're
building.
glad that you go through it.
The trauma.
Yeah. The
Force
trauma.
you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
What about you? When you were down bad, what were some of the skills that you kind of developed throughout that time frame? And how did you get out of that situation?
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, I think just like a lot of things that Brice already mentioned, those skills, just like, and I think for me, honestly, like, was a lot of internal things that I figure out about myself, and which I feel like is very crucial to being successful at trading. Is like being in tune with yourself and like analyzing your emotions, the things you're thinking about, and those things. So yeah, when I was down, like I got connected to the wrong people, and found learned that like being connected and doing business with the right people is like so crucial. So I did business with a guy out of Atlanta, and he was scamming people and things like that. I found out, and just terrible guy. So got screwed over there. Was in massive amount of debt from him, and got into more debt just because of different other business stuff that I was doing that didn't end well because of that was going on, and just it all just kind of all crashed kind of at the same time. So yeah, I was in close to $200,000 worth of debt, and like fear set in, and just you learn a lot about yourself and how to overcome those things. So yeah, it's a rough time, but it's beneficial. So yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah. Very useful. I've kind of learned the same shit. Like, one of the things I learned when I was like fucked up, is like the importance of going back to what you said, is being able to create. Like, when I realized it's like, damn, like fucking, I know how to. Well, I'll give y'all an actual specific time period during COVID and shit. Like, when COVID hit, I was never even online. Like, the tech shit that I know now, I know that shit like 2 or 3 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the fucking COVID forced me to learn like online skill sets and shit, because like when COVID hit, that shut down my real estate business, that shut down my oils, skincare, anything in person. All that shit was over with. I was dead broke, like fucked up. And on top of that, we weren't supposed to be coming out the house and shit. I just had started college, and I couldn't get no fucking job because of the whole COVID shit, and I refused to take the vaccine. So it was then that I learned, okay, like, damn, how the fuck can I create some fucking money? So shit, I got online, I started learning how to build websites, and I was like, damn, I really just created this amount of money.
And it didn't take no money.
Facts.
So yeah.
And then just really just like using my mind to fucking create something out of nothing. And shit. And then I just started applying that, and that's how I really like, I learned, skill sets of, building shit online, the importance of online presence, the importance of marketing, the importance of ads and shit like that, the importance of money management, the importance of a fucking savings account. And the importance of like fucking having low expenses and shit too. So it's like all those, it's like taught me, it's like the developing skill sets when you're down, like, will kind of save you. So even if you're just taking loss after loss after loss, if you're learning from those losses, technically when you're learning from those losses, that's a skill set that you're developing. And those skill sets is pretty much gonna save you anytime you ever go through that situation ever again and shit. To where it's like, now, when shit's fucked up, it's like, I'm not scared of shit. So.
Yeah. And I also think that what really adds to it is it's kind of like another business skill. Is like the thing that and I talk a lot, man. Like, I just love the people I'm around. I love Mike the Cream. I love Eli. I love Schmidt. I love DeMar. But it's kind of like reinforcing and kind of like staying on top of yourselves. Because, like, even now, like, right now, we're going to be going crazy with the online content. But, like, I was talking to Josh, and I was showing him, like, YouTubers making, like, $60K, Like, you shout out to a real estate trapper, he's already make $600K off of affiliate links. Nothing. Just posted, here's a link. And I know YouTubers now who are making 2 million, 6 million a month. So I'm making like 2 million a month. And what I kind of realized, like, back then when I was down is, like, I never want to be, especially while you're up, always is to take that, is just to double down on, like, what really matters. Because what does everyone say now? Everyone's now is like, dang, I wish I would have been on YouTube 2 years ago. I already would have been making $2 million a month.
Right.
Passive. Damn, would I already wish I would have been doing X, Y, Z. So, like, now I've kind of realized, okay, boom, like, when right now, like, sorry guys, when it's in your head, just remind yourself every day, like, reinforce it. Like, I got so much, content coming out and things coming out. I'm investing into a lot of things, like with this app and things like that, because, like, okay, if I got all these celebrities who want to host events on my app, I don't need to wait. All right, boom, it's going to take me $100,000. I got to pay that now. I got to double down now. I have to do it right now instead of doing it a year and a half from now when somebody already asked it. Drake already asked on something in your event a year and a half ago, and you said, let me wait, let me figure it out.
Yeah.
When I'm like, dang, me and him could have did something a year and a half ago, and then that could have catapulted me into now. So I just kind of realized, like, whenever you want to do something, take action. Shout out to Miway, my guy, he's Rick Ross's videographer. Obviously, I hired D-Mar, added him to the team, and D-Mar was like, man, like, how did you make it? And he was like, man, I came here, I had no money, I sleep on somebody's couch. 6 days later, I was filming for P. Diddy. But he said that people who had way more money than him kept waiting for the right time, kept waiting for the right moment. Oh, I'm gonna get down there then. I'm gonna spend the money when it's this time. But he literally said he came down there with no money, and then 6 days later, he was up. So he was like, dude, he literally said like this. He said, just do it. Stop overthinking it. Just do it.
Yeah.
Just do it. And the more you realize that it's always better to take action and figure things out later than to not do it. And make successful people, I notice they make decisions really fast, even if it's like, even if it's bad. Like, I always think about it. Like, I got home, I was like, imagine if I just would have told Geoff, yeah, we'll go to Dare. If I just would have kept saying, I don't know. Like, in that Wawa, like, if you ever pay attention to me, like, I'll be doing a lot, and I'll kind of, like, zone out, because I'm like, I got to make a decision. So I'm kind of Xing everything out.
Yeah.
But think about it. Imagine if we just would have never done a photo shoot.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's like the little things like that matter so much. Or, like, how I decided on that parking garage, but because that parking garage happened, that security guard was able to come up. But I had to make a decision. Because everyone was looking at me like, yo, Brice, like, you're leaving. So, like, Brice, like, what's going on?
Right.
So I was like, all right, even if it's Toronto, so you can make a decision, and we're going to execute.
Well, even months ago, whenever we were talking about doing my stuff, months ago, I was like, let me just wait a couple months. And, I'm not like, I don't have my base yet of like, things established, and I wanted to wait a little bit, and I was like, nah, that's wrong. I need to do this.
Right.
So I took the action, and we wouldn't have had the Miami trip. We wouldn't have done all this stuff that we already done.
That's crazy.
If I didn't take action,
Right.
And in the beginning, I was like, you were telling me like, hey, post this, and I was like, I waited, and I didn't post, and now it's like, I'm posting before you even tell me, like, that,
right. And he is, man. The crazy thing about it is like, and shout out to Josh as well, because I was telling Josh, like, the crazy thing about like how social media is changing, it's not even oversaturated. Like, even like YouTube said, like, it's not oversaturated at all. Content creators, people are going to get paid even more. Like, they just offered Mr. Beast $1 billion for a channel. They offered him $1 billion, and it's making $5-10 billion. So
yeah, they just offered Vlad like $50 million.
Yeah. And the crazy part about it is like, it's almost thinking like, okay, well, you just can't wait and take action. But it's like, I noticed this, especially with content or in general, out of sight, out of mind. Like, I've had people who I may not get the most likes on my posts, but because I'm putting myself out there, people will personally message me, like, yo, bro, how you been doing? I'm pretty sure it's happened to you. Like, since you've been more active on social media, people will directly hit you up more. Because a lot of times, like, when you're out of sight, out of mind, you don't really see it. But people fail to realize, see Drake, whether you're seeing him or he's doing some music all the time. Grant Cardone, in your face. It don't matter if you like him or not. Gary Vee, in your face. Even Elon Musk, people fail to realize, like, he's always tweeting something. He's always active. You always see him doing something. Even like Jeff Bezos is like very active. Like those guys are always traveling, always out there, always doing something. They're always posting something. They're very, 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 very active. A lot of people fail to realize why the Kardashians are great businesswomen. Shout out to them. They're very great businesswomen. They're very active. Like Kylie Jenner and Kim Kardashian, they post every day. Like they're doing something on social media every day, but they're billionaires like for a reason. So it's kind of realizing like you have to be on top of things. But I'm pretty sure you noticed that since you've been like more active, people hit you up more. People give you more opportunities. People ask you more questions. Hey man, when's your course coming out? I'm ready to buy it. How can I buy a training session? So it's kind of realized that if you
way more opportunities. I just had a guy before we went to Miami like hit me up and he's like, hey, I can bring like close to $2 million in funding to you next couple months. And I was like, I would not have had that opportunity, like if I didn't do what we're doing now. So
exactly, man. So shout out to Josh. Can I tell him about Track Capital?
Yeah.
So all right, so me and Josh, got a little AC partnership. Y'all are gonna see some crazy people with Track Capital soon.
Crazy people.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
It's gonna be crazy.
It's gonna be good.
Yeah.
Stay tuned.
That's it. I mean, shout out Track Capital.
Cookie Monster.
Matter of fact, before we even end that shit, how did you create a hedge fund? How did you get into that shit?
Heard someone. He said you heard someone.
I heard someone. So hedge fund, did a lot of research and connected with different people and kind of learned a lot. Just like figured out that like, you can have different funds, it's all about just like using other people's money to invest or to buy real estate or trade in the market or, things like that. So just kind of learned about how a hedge fund works and I just wanted to do it, so I did it. My hedge fund is going to be is different than a lot of other funds out there. It's going to be really excited to kind of grow that. Try Capital, it's all built on balance in the market. That's a whole strategy behind it, and the balance within personal self. Excited. So.
Gotcha.
And also with Hoodie Gang, the music that's coming out, they've heard some of the music, but the music coming out with some of the artists is gonna be crazy. It's gonna be crazy, especially with the merch. It's about to be springtime, and our fitness has been doing good. You guys have been loving Coochie Game. I've been eating the coochie up, as you can see. I mean, where else you gonna get coochie for $60? I'm just playing. But that and also I've been rubbing. Pause. The Eli's oils, golden sands are real good, man. I mean, I love it. Y'all need to get that. Every time I wear it, people like, what are you wearing? And it feels so good on my skin. The clean.
I saw like 5 bottles of that shit yesterday.
Really? Golden sands?
That.
Damn. Your best seller?
It's one of them.
Okay.
Seduction, the one that you picked out. That's the best seller too.
Okay.
But y'all, this has been Eli's Viewpoint. Y'all, if y'all want to purchase my product, my clothing, at the alexanderbrand.com, we got oils, we got essential oils, we got fragrance oils, we got incense, soap, merch, windbreakers, everything on the website. Definitely, if you're watching this, subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm going crazy with the content. If you're in Florida, period, and you need real estate services, hit me up. I'm licensed all over Florida, so I can really sell you anything. I just been in the Pensacola area for a minute, but anybody in Miami, hit me up. We'll make some shit shake. Other than that, if y'all need any tech shit done for your business, need business consulting, hit me up. I do that as well too, or life advice, and definitely. Josh, you got a Discord coming out soon.
Yep, Discord coming out soon.
Excited
about that.
What else you got going on?
Yeah, Discord, boosting up Instagram and still coming out with content on YouTube. The plan is next couple months to be rolling out the training program.
Gotcha.
So excited about that. So be looking out for that.
Okay. Any advice that you can give any future traders or people coming into your program?
Yeah. Listen to the right people. Work on yourself and develop a strategy that is consistent. And take your time. Take your time. Take it slow. It's a process. It's not about the end. It's about the process. And I think a lot of traders rush through it and think they figured something out and they put a lot of money into the market and then they lose it all. So
Right.
If you're gonna lose, you might as well give it to me.
You're giving away money.
Yeah. I'm gonna do something with it. I'm gonna flip that somehow.
Yeah, take your time. Take your time in the market. So that's what I would say. Just patience. You gotta have patience, and when you're trading. So.
Gotcha. Any other shit you got going on?
Yeah, crazy album dropping soon. Obviously, you guys been loving the merch. Thank you guys for your support. But merch is going crazy soon. Obviously, me and Josh have a lot of crazy things coming out. We're gonna do a big LA shooting vlog soon. And obviously, we'll try Capital. There's gonna be some merch coming out. So you guys stay tuned to that. Obviously, I'll be being creative with that, designing, doing my thing with that. But that's gonna be crazy. And yeah.
Cool.
Well, yeah. This has been Eli's Viewpoint. Subscribe on all podcast platforms, and of course, give this video a like.